So over to you, Blessing.
Thank you very much. Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedules to come to this masterclass. So my name is Blessing. Just going to highlight today is my name, Blessing. Kakao but everybody calls me Blessing. You guys can call me Blessing. I am the academic head for within the School of Economics in charge of the banking program. But today I'll be talking to you guys about the BCompt accounting. How can this lead you to be
Recording stopped.
so how can it make you successful? So just as a way of setting this in our what I'm going to be talking you through is as follows. So when we talk about success, we want to understand what is success, what does success look like, and what is success being denoted as by philosophers, by the giants that we see in the field of accounting. Then we are also going to look at after you have spent your 3 years with us, you've got your degree, you've graduated. What are the potential job opportunities that you can then apply for, or that you should be working towards, or that are available for you after you finish after you finished your qualification with us? And then clarify the difference between BCom versus a BCom. So for us, we offer the BCom. So it's just to explain to you why BCom and not why BCom. What is the difference and why you opted to go for the BCom? And then why does the BCom better? Why is it important? Why did we choose the BCom? Or why should you choose to go for the BCom route? Look at the core subjects that we focus on. How these core subjects then link back to why does BCom matter? Look at the detailed curriculum that we go through because the curriculum has got a bearing directly on the job opportunities because these job opportunities have got different skills and different subjects that you should have done. So if there is no link between what you studied and what the employer wants, then the BCom is not worth the paper that is written on. So there's a link between what you the market wants and what we are offering you and the Genesis. So it's just to align that with what we talked about under the job opportunities, how we do your assessments. This will be a quick overview. Then, what are the support systems to make sure you succeed? Because yes, you've enrolled, yes, you are doing your paper with us, but that is vague. It still needs you to pass your exam. Yes, it still needs you to submit your assignments. It still needs you to do your digital assessment. So passing or doing well is non-negotiable. So you need to be able to pass. So pass to ensure that you pass your robots and when you hold in your hand, the way of supporting you, the way of ensuring that you succeed and you pass once you've been born with us. So these are the support structures, support systems that are available to you to ensure that your life with rigidness is a smooth sailing kind of life over and above the effort, over and above what you're putting in your studies. Then finally, professional accreditation. Accounting is one of those fields of study where just like doctors, just like lawyers, you've got accreditation or professional accreditation that they can get. So also within the accounting profession, what are those professional accreditations? Which kind of societies or bodies are we affiliated to? Which bodies are we looking to accredit our income? And how can you then apply and get that professional accreditation? Besides just graduating, your life still continues after the degree, your life still continues after the genesis. So how do you enhance, how do you make sure that when someone is looking to hire, how do they will select you, they will select your CV. What will make your CV outstanding over and above the millions and billions of mind is not. So how do we engage your people? Because in this day and age, it's no longer enough just a qualification in synonym. You have other things. You have to enhance your qualification. So look at how you enhance your BCompt. Then I'll check any questions and answers. So this is the format that I'm going to check, and uh, this is this is how we are going to all right. This is how we are going to go through this. That we're going to go through this presentation. Wonderful. So, what is success? What does success look like to you? So, maybe growing up, you are told get a job, get an office, apply to the biggest company, get your own, kind of corner office, have meetings, your laptop, analyze companies where if you look out of the window, you can see this one is it's actually the Johannesburg skyline. They have your Ferrari parked outside and so forth. So success is different for each and every one of us. So you need to understand or you need to know what does success look like. What is success to you? And your idea of success, does it link or is it enhanced or helped by you enrolling to the BCompt? Because if success, your idea of success does not align what people can deliver to you, then it becomes a challenge. We'll get a few philosophers, get a few people, including our own chairperson of the Genesis, on what they define success as, which maybe uh, will also work into your definition or realign your definition of success. So actually, this one I just asked Gemini, so I asked Google Gemini to say, develop a picture of success for me. So that's what Gemini gave me the image generation tool. So again, this just shows you the world that we live in, that with artificial intelligence, we literally do anything. It took me a few seconds, like not even a few seconds, for AI to generate that picture of success for me. So what does success look like for you? Let's look at a few philosophers and what they've said about success. We have got Ralph Waldo. So he says, no, living one life is really easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. So in other words, this is what the richness is aligned to, where we are saying we want to create conscious leaders. What is a conscious leader? When you make things better more. So this is what Ralph is talking about, that other people's lives is made better off because you've done your BCompt, because you've qualified your BCompt, because you're not making what's really easier. Are you helping? So that then aligns to awakening potential, or the tagline that we use, awakening potential. If we look at Aristotle, one of those philosophers that people always quote, say this: we are what we repeatedly do. Excellent then is not an act, but a habit. So again, this aligns with what we do at Regenesis, where we are saying we are not just doing knowledge, mental intelligence. We are educating holistic. We are providing holistic education. So in other words, what we are saying in Regenesis really is we are making sure that the habits that you pick up as you go through your BCompt journey are habits that gear you to success. All right. So this just realigns, or this then makes you think, okay, maybe I need to rethink what success is like, what success is. In my life. So success is a habit. It's not a end where you put it up, you are in Bali, at the beach, enjoying yourself. Success is a habit. What habits did we pick up? And with our BCompt and Genesis specifically, we are teaching you to pick up very good habits. Success depends upon previous preparation. In outside preparation, there is sure to be failure. So that Confucius. So Confucius is saying success really is about preparation. So if you fail to prepare, then you are preparing to fail. So how you prepare is already success. So success is not actually the end goal. Success is how you prepare. Because once you prepare well, then you are going to achieve whatever it is that. So success, Confucius is saying, measure it based on preparation, and then Winston Churchill, one of the prime ministers of the UK during the Second World War, says success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. It regenerates, and as you go through your people, talk about perseverance, talk about you having the ability to persevere, and you having the ability to be strong, and so on, which are some of the graduate attributes that you become as you go through our curriculum. So again, we are setting you up for success because we are saying success is not just the end goal. Then Albert Schweitzer says success is not the key to evidence. Evidence is the key to success. And finally, I just want to conclude with our chairperson, Dr. Marcos Rabaja, who says what matters is not how many years we live, it's how many lives we touch. So at the end of the day, really, the become or your idea of success is to be how many lives am I touching? What if I changed in this world? Who environment, whose lives environment better? So it's really not about you driving the best car, living in the best houses, it's about changing lives. So this was just to realign or to make sure that our idea of success is aligned. Having said that, let's look at what are some of the job opportunities that are available for you. When you go through our BCompt, so these are some of the job opportunities. We are going to look at it in four ways. One, we want to look at the category of the job. Let me just see where my case is in the category of the job. Then look at what job roles are available. What are the skills? The skills are important. Why are the skills important? Because when you do your CV, make sure that these skills that employers worldwide know, and then when you CV, you have acquired them, and you find that when you present the curriculum, these are the skills that we are ensuring that we engender into each and every one of them. And what are typical employers are going to use South Africa as a point of reference for the typical employers that you can go for. So it is an entry level kind of job. So you're looking at a clerk, an accounting clerk, you're looking to be a junior accountant or bookkeeper or payroll administrator. What are some of the things that or skills that you need? Definitely in your pickup journey, you have done reconciliation, you've done our accounting equation, debit, credit, journaling, some journals, ledgers, VAT, pay as you earn, UIF. So all this is from a South African perspective because as you all know, there is rules, laws, or standards that we have to follow within the accounting profession. So what are the typical employers, most corporates, most companies, most small medium enterprises, retail groups in South Africa, retail groups like Shoprite, like Pick Pay, like Checkers, like Woolies, you can apply to those. You can also go for NGO. So there is limitless possibilities for you. What about from an audit and assurance or slash tax perspective? From an audit or assurance perspective, usually you enter into these auditing firms as a trainee. All right, so you'll be a trainee, go through your training, you write your board exams, then you are given your professional accreditation. The main body that most people know of is SICA, but we'll talk about that when we reach the professional accreditation. So here is where you are going to audit the accounts of the business, then you give audit opinion, which is a prerequisite for most incorporated companies that after they do their annual accounts, those annual accounts should be audited. And you, as the auditor, will then come in to make sure that everything is above board, everything checks out, everything that needs to be done is done in those organizations. Usually, here we have got the big auditing firms, Big Four, Deloitte, KPMG, Ernst& Young, but we also have got others like Grand Total, SMG, BDO, Mazars, and so on. So there is also a lot of other smaller auditing firms that you can apply to after you finish your BCompt with us. What about from a corporate perspective? You want to go straight into the corporate, you want to wear that jacket and suit, have your briefcase with you, shuttle from meetings to meetings. So, what are some of the job roles you can apply for? You can be a financial analyst, or a management accountant, or a junior risk analyst. You can apply for those kind of roles. And then, what are the skills? So, the skills are important because they have to align with what we offer you and agencies. So, budgeting, financial modeling, forecasting, costing, variance analysis, all this all these are things that you should be able to acquire. Then who is going to be hiring you? You've got banks, you've got corporates, you've got investment firms. There's a lot of companies that can hire you. As you can see that with this BCompt, there is limitless possibilities available for you. What about from the financial services sector? So you want to go into banking or any other financial service sector is fintechs because with technology, there is so many financial technology companies that are out there, fintechs. So you can be credit analyst, you can be loan administrator, you can be business then supporter, support. You can go into treasury as a treasury assistant or compliance, anti-money laundering, fraud. If you're in South Africa, you're head of this platform where we have been grade listed and so on. So all this is where you say how do we get out of grade listing, how do we make sure that this platform obligations we are able to adhere to. So things like credit assessment, regulatory compliance, knowing and things like the Sarbanes-Oxley, they call it the SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act and so on. Big banks, FNB, ABSA, Nedbank, Capitec, Time Bank. So there's lots of them that can hire you for that. Then you can also go into government. Nothing really preventing you from going into government as a budget analyst, as a procurement administrator, as an internal control officer. All right. So what you might need knowledge of you, not you might, you will need knowledge of PFMA, MFMA, the Public Sector Act. Um, so you can go and work for SARS. You can work for the Attorney General. So not actually the Auditor General, Auditor General of South Africa, once that audit all companies, you can work with National Treasury or municipalities or state-owned companies like BCompt, Translate, PASA. So there's really no limit to what you can do with your people. You can also work for yourself, be an entrepreneur. So start a company as a freelance bookkeeper, offer bookkeeping services or tax services. You become a tax consultant for companies to do their VAT returns, their filings with the CIPC, if they want to do their annual returns and so on. You can do that for them because that's what you learn at the region. Finally, you can also go into investment and wealth management. We have got my wealth at Regenesis, where you can also start asking around as you go through your journey to say, for me to be better blessed to be employed at these investment companies, what is it that I need to be able to do? All right. So you can see that really there is limitless possibilities for you. So because of these limitless possibilities, what we decided this legislation was let's go for BCompt and not BCompt. Why? What is the difference? What is the difference between a BCompt and a BCompt? The difference between a BCompt and a BCompt is really this main one. A BCompt is broad. You can have a BCom marketing, BCom finance, BCom accounting, BCom. So it's very broad. Any commercial subject or comments, very broad around comments. Whereas with a BCom, it's very technical. It's very technical, accounting, auditing, not very broad. So you must be very focused. So most people always ask this question on accreditation. I'll use the one that most people know, which is the SICA professional body, which is the CASA. That's the designation that SICA gives you with a BCom, not something that you can pursue, but with our BCom, it's something that you can pursue. And then I just put in brackets if accredited. So that's at a very high level the difference. BCom that we offer very specialized, very focused, very in-depth, narrow and in-depth, whereas the BCom is very broad. All right, so BCom and PT BCom. All right, so why go for BCom? Why does it matter? How is it going to lead you to be successful? How can you be successful? Because of BCom, number one, accounting is the backbone, not just of South Africa. If you go into any nation, they need the accounting profession. So it is the backbone of South Africa's financial accountability system. When you guys read this theory called the agency theory. So the agency theory generally, or simply put, is saying the owners of a business usually are not the managers. The owners are separate. They are outside the business. Business is being run by managers. Because of that, the managers that run the business have to give account. The owners are the ones that employ managers. Managers are the agents and the owners are the principals. That's where the agents here comes in. So one way for managers or people running companies to account to owners is through accounting through the people. That you guys are doing. So that's why I call it a financial accountability system. This I thought it is important, especially from a South African perspective, where the country, in terms of corruption, in terms of procurement irregularities, in terms of fraud, in terms of what is happening, to those that are following the news, Manaka Commission, Agro Committee, where billions of rands have been stolen from government coffers. So accounting for your BCom, our BCom, and getting those things that issue of success becomes important because implementing the law, implementing what is the law, the Public Finance Management Act, Municipal Finance Management Act, National Treasury Regulations, all of these laws that say don't steal government money. Sometimes don't even need laws. Just common sense, don't steal government money and buy Ferrari. So it's critical. Your BCom is critical. It can not just in from a South African perspective. Wherever you go, you can make a difference. You can make someone's life better. You can make that patient in the visa hospital get medication because you did your job. You applied what you learned at Regenesis in your BCom in someone's life itself that is a hospital because from government regulations we followed insisted on it. How did you know through your BCom? All right, I can sort of that one. And then there's things like politics, where we're talking about, just talking to you guys now about the issue of agency theory. So it's of course very important for this ethical governance. So managing companies are so this again goes back to the ethos that we practice in Regenesis, where we talk about conscious leadership. If people in leadership were doing the right things, most of the suffering, most of the things that the pain, the challenges that people will go through You find that most of these things become a thing of the past because you've got leaders that care, leaders that are looking to say, we are committed to doing the right things. Then it matters because across most sectors, you'll be hard pressed to find any sector that does not need an accountant or a BCompt graduate. So there is high employability across all sectors. All right, wonderful. So that's why it matters. Why does it matter? There is a shortage. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a shortage of accountants. Let's look at this graph. So this I got from different sources, but as of 2025, they are saying chartered accountants. You've got an estimated 90% shortage. So where we need 100 accountants, we only get 10. So we need 90 more. So there's a shortage. There's a 90% shortage of chartered accountants. What about external auditors, which are critical? 85% shortage. So when we need 100, we only get about 50. What about tax specialists? We have got a 70% shortage. I was watching the budget speech was it yesterday or the day before Wednesday, where we're talking about SARS, the ability of SARS to collect tax. These are the people that help the SARS to make sure that they collect the right amount and they collect effectively. Now, out of the 100 only get 30, is a 70% shortage. What about financial analysts? 60% shortage. What about cost and management accountants? 25% shortage. So across the board, we need people with a big qualification because there's a shortage out there. So once you do your big with us, it's going to make you to succeed in life. What are the core subjects that we offer? Remember to link or tie it back to those job opportunities that you're talking about. Four major pillars of income. One pillar is the accounting pillar. So everything that we're talking about, accounting, ledgers, and so forth, you're learning accounting 1, 2, and 3. Our other major core subject is auditing. Again, we're talking about audits, three audits, and so forth. You learn about that and with your BCompt. We're talking about costing, variance analysis, variance management accounting, we're talking about tax consulting, and so forth. So these are the four main pillars: accounting, auditing, management accounting, and tax. Those become the four main pillars or the core subjects, and you have put it differently. That we offer, and you can see that they tie nicely or they tie very well to the job opportunities that are out there. What about the actual curriculum itself, the integrities? In year one, you are doing about 9 subjects: economics and financial accounting, business management, communications, commercial law, business ethics, mathematics, computer skills. You can see that you are acquiring a wide range of skills. What about in year two? In year two, financial accounting two, tax two, statistics two, company law two, management accounting two, computerized environment two, and auditing two. So again, these are the skills that you acquire from people, and if you tie them back to the opportunities that are out there, really the sky is not even the limit for you. Your the potential is limitless in these people. Then in your third year, you do financial accounting three, advanced tax three, your risk and financial management three, your corporate governance three, cost and management accounting three, and your auditing three. So this ties back to the core subject and it also ties back to the skill set that are necessary. In most countries, most jurisdictions, most industries, these are the skills that are needed. This is what we're offering you, this is what we're ensuring you get entry genesis, ladies and gentlemen. This I said I'll just go through it quickly to make sure that at least what you've done is with so that you actually acquired assimilated the skills that are necessary. And let me just through formative assessments like your written assignment and your digital assessment, right? These are formative assessments with consistent, and then obviously you also need to see the exam. The exam is with 40%. All right, wonderful. So this just to show you that there is rigor. We apply rigor. You need to apply yourself. You need to make sure that you bring yourself fully to the table to acquire the qualification. Having said that, most people are wearing those people are events. We talk of accounting, how then you must be in numbers and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to also and how to journey and after you finish with us and legitimacy. So there's a number of support systems which I'll not go through a lot of this because to reiterate the same support systems when you guys do your orientation. Very soon. Everyone is coming for orientation. So there you are. You are the center of everything that we do in the Genesis. So the Genesis is factored every department, every entity, every company in the Genesis has for this student and what you in mind. Make sure how we make sure that we produce conscious leaders, how to make sure our students' journey is smooth, how to make sure we address all concerns from our students, how to make sure that this student is central to everything that we do. So there's a lot of support systems. There is the academic head like myself and a lot of other academic heads that we will introduce facilitators that are available that will take you through the content, that will be available to hold your hand, that will be available for consultation, and the world class facilitators and the student relationship managers that are there to make sure all your queries are addressed. The student support unit that deals with students and makes sure that your journey from the time you go after the time you graduate and beyond, your journey with us is smooth sailing. Physical library on campus, also a online libraries that you can utilize just to make sure that the journey is smooth sailing, our registered and make sure that your time is answered, your records are kept safe, and your journey with us is nothing short of a fulfilling journey. So these are some of the support systems of which we reiterate go through these and your orientation. All right, wonderful. You've done your BCompt. You hear your friends talking about chartered accountants. You hear your friends talking about professional accreditation. So, our BCompt, how does it figure into this whole accreditation field? Because I say that with the accounting, just like employers, you need to be accredited. There has to be a professional body that accredits you and then gives you a professional designation over and above your degree. So, as a Genesis, we are affiliated to this professional body called CIFA, Chartered Institute of Business Accountants. CIFA. There is so many other professional bodies who go through a number of professional accreditations that are available for you. So they've accredited the people so you can apply to get a professional designation from CIFA. One of those designations is a business accounting, but as I said, I'll take you guys in the next slide. I'll take you through take you I'll take you through what type of what accreditation you can then go. All right, wonderful. I hear that the room that I'm in, the bit of noise, there's a bit of noise sure there's a half whether the electricity what I'm I don't know. The ongoing harm. My apologies about that. All
We
right.
can hear you well. I think we can hear you well. There's no disturbance.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So we'll talk about cyber, but let me just elaborate on other professional bodies because it's not just one professional body. What other professional body? The next one that most people know is SICA, South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. It is just like cyber, it's a professional body that gives you professional accreditation after you've gone through a number of exams that they require. So as a Genesis, we are currently process of being accredited. So they go through that exams, the way we craft our study guides, how we teach you guys, pass rate and so forth, how we mark it and so forth. So we are currently in the process of being accredited. It's not a overnight kind of process because they have to make sure that what they if they are going to give you accreditation, you are doing everything by the book. So we are not yet accredited, but we are applying to the accreditation. Who are we accredited with? We are accredited with cyber, but anytime soon we should be accredited with cyber. Just cyber only. There is also cyber where you can become a professional accountant, you can apply to them, you become another professional body. They will look through your qualification, through what you have done, and then give you a professional accreditation. Besides that, also a auditors, a registered auditors, IFA. So IFA usually after, because SICA is accredited IFA, if you want to be an auditor, you have to be registered in IFA. All right, wonderful. So there is a number of professional bodies that are available. But as I said, now we are accredited in cyber. What does cyber give you? What does cyber give you? So with cyber, I'm going to look into the designation starting with the what I would call the entry level. So how did they institute or cyber design the way of accreditation in operation in a job? So usually you are employed at a junior level, you go to a bit supervisory management level, senior level, CFO, board level. So that's the way they are design their accreditation. So look at the designation, the level, what is the focus, what are the roles, and the key competencies. Remember, those job opportunities, the key competencies also matter because cyber is also going to ask, yes, they have accredited us, but these key competencies matter. All right. So the junior entry level accreditation is from the you can apply to be a chartered bookkeeper. So this is entry level operational level. What is the primary focus? Keeping in payroll. So if you're a bookkeeper, you're a clerk, you can have a professional designation. Right. What are the key competencies in making a lecture? You need to account payable, account receivable, reconciliation, tax and trial balance. If you can do those, you can apply for that accreditation. You then at a higher level than the bookkeeper, you could be chartered financial administrator. Chartered financial administrator. CFA is a little bit different from that chartered financial analyst. Because once you say CFA, most people think chartered financial analyst is a chartered financial administrator. Intermediate role where you are looking at financial administration, management accounts. What are some of the things that you should be able to do? Management accounts, budgeting, developing internal controls, doing returns for SARS, so tax returns, and annual power returns. CIPC is the company intellectual property commission that registers for companies. So CIPC reporting, very important. So these are the things that they look for as they are credited. What else? The one that we talked about just now was the business accounting. So this is the one. So this will be the managers or the ones people that are in middle management, but you can also apply for it with your BCompt. So all these you can apply with your BCompt. Middle manager, so it's full accounting, cost accounting, tax. So this is the business accountant, financial accountant, management accountant. You are doing with the rules of accounting, the national financial reporting standards, financial statement, tax, budgeting, financial analysis, and so on. What else? At a senior level, you can apply and get a designation of chartered financial manager, CFM. So, senior management, what is it all about? Strategy, financial planning, financial modeling, corporate finance, mergers and acquisitions. So, this is for financial managers, senior analysts, where you are doing financial modeling, financial forecasting, capital financing, performance management. Again, if you think about the curriculum that I gave you guys, you can see that this is why we've been accredited because most of these things you've done them. All right. So there will be things that you've done in class. Fantastic. What about at an executive level? Chartered chief financial officer, chartered chief financial officer, CFO. It's a designation, professional designation that they give you. So where you're looking at strategic leadership, governance. Remember the corporate governance year 3 that we talked about. So you're a CFO, you're a financial manager, you are a head. So you look at corporate governance, integrated reporting, risk management, executive strategy. What else? You can also be a chartered business accountant in practice. Chartered business accountant in practice. When we talk about job opportunities, we talk about entrepreneurship. So you are an entrepreneur, you are running your own company or accounting company. You're providing services, tech services, you're providing CIBC services. So you're running your own professional practice. So you can get that accreditation where you're doing accounts, tax, advisory, compliance, so you should be able to do your financial statement, you should have done tax planning, advisory, services in terms of how you advise the business, make sure you manage the engagement and so on, and compliance. So these are the accreditations that are available for you because you've gone through the BCompt with Regenesis. All right. I said, in this day and age, it does not just come with you acquiring your degree. What else? What else can you do? How can you motivate your best forward? What can enhance your people? How can you enhance your people? And what can make you stand out from the crowd? These are some of the advice that I have for you. Ladies and gentlemen, things like Excel. Learn Excel. Learn Sage. So these are basic accounting packages that you can do instead of going on TikTok, going on Facebook, just ask that AI design a program, learn Sage for a learner, for a beginner. Then it will design a program for you and tell you what to do step by step. So you can learn this, you don't need anything fancy. Just your phone, and you can learn Excel, Sage, Pascal, Caseware, these are accounting packages. Make sure you know these things. Take online courses. So look for online courses and Regenesis is available. And Uncode Digital Regenesis. Why am I emphasizing digital Regenesis? Digital Regenesis, things like ESG, things like analytics, data analytics, machine learning. We are providing these things. So you are at the right place. So take these online courses so that in your CV you say, I know machine learning, I know AI. You've done it with us in Regenesis, and you get a certificate for these courses in Regenesis. So take these courses. That's why I said in Regenesis we are building you holistically. Then join student chapters. There is student chapters for cyber, for cyber, for cyber. These professional bodies participate, know what is top of mind, know what is happening out there, know what the latest developments are. Attend networking events. So there is events. I think Saika was hosting an event about 3 weeks ago. So attend these events and network as much as you can, which is again a skill that we expect from students that have studied intelligence, where network, learn how to network, which again is a sign of emotional intelligence. All right. Volunteer for internships. It's not everything that you need to be paid for. Go to your local supermarket during holidays and say, look, I'm studying in Genesis. I don't want to be paid. I just want to assist in your accounting department. I just want to assist you when you do your books. I just want to get the experience. So do not just think of getting paid all the time. Volunteer. Volunteer time. There is this paragraph in, if you guys have read this book, Read Dead Poor Dead. So this guy says, when he asks the rich dad to say, I'm going to come work for you, he says, I'm not going to pay you. And he was quite excited. I'm going to use my money to come work. How can you say you're not going to pay you? He says, the rich do not work for money. The rich do not work for money. Right. So find out what the rich work for. Read the book. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then practice ethical leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we can underline this enough. Regenesis want to develop conscious leaders. Why? Just look at the world. Look at the mess that is in the world. Look at the challenges that the world is going through. Look at the fraud. Look at the crime. It's with ethics. If everyone was ethical, then most of these things would not be happening at all. And anyway, guys are going to be starting this when you do your corporate governance. So corporate governance, we look at one of our premier documents, which is important on how to make sure that you govern and set up companies where you are ethical in everything that you do. Then build your career portfolio. Have a CV, have a LinkedIn profile, not just have a TikTok account. All right, wonderful. And then also go for projects. All right, there's some projects that are available where you can perform your CV. And in the project, municipality picked up data or we did the HIV awareness campaign, something project. All right. So I remember when I was reading the autobiography of former President Barack Obama, one of the things that then led him to become a senator was he was involved in community projects. But they paid, right? In fact, I don't think they were even being paid at that time, but he was a community volunteer, organizing the community. So these projects, you never know when they're going to build your CV for something really huge. It built his CV until ultimately he became the president of one of the most powerful nations in the world. What about before the Industrial Revolution? How do you enhance your people in from a technology perspective? Some of these we've talked about Excel, we've talked about Sage and Pastel, we've talked about QuickBooks. You see these adverts on YouTube, and therefore zero accounting software, QuickBooks. So make sure you know some of these things. And then there is case where Power BI can be where you learn how to manage huge volumes of data and data analytics. There's AI tools for accountants. It's AI, I think it's called Keeper or something, or Keeper or whatever it is. And the chief executive of Salesforce. Chief executive of Salesforce was being interviewed at the beginning of this year. So what was he saying? So he was saying in today's age, chief executives have to learn to manage both human employees and artificial intelligence employees or technology employees. So you can have a bot that you are employing. So that's from a company perspective. So also from your own perspective, you should be using technology. So what is the technology that you are supplementing to what you know, to your head knowledge, what you can So the same way that companies will have human employees and technology employees, so also you should have skills that you are saying, this is my head knowledge, and skills that are saying, AI or whatever technology is giving me, cloud accounting platforms, use those. All right. So we do not want to shy away from the issue that accounting is involved. You have to put in your 110% effort. So what are some of the challenges? But wherever there's a challenge, there is a solution. Um, there's this psychologist, I just forget his name, but he made a statement to say there is a thin line. There's a thin line between problems and opportunities. There's a thin line. It actually says it's a gray area because if you solve a problem, then that problem was an opportunity. So when does it become a problem? When does it become an opportunity? So most times it's actually how you view anything. There's a thin line between problems and opportunities. There's a thin line between challenges and solutions. All right, wonderful. So don't look at things, this is a problem. It's an opportunity. All right, wonderful. What are some of the challenges that you might find in the BCompt just running for time in balancing work and study? You have to make sure that balance goes to you do not drop any of those. You don't drop any ball as you go through your journey. It's technical. We cannot shy away from it. Equal is technical. The standards are the standards. Difference is difference. From a government perspective, general recognized accounting practices, you have to just do it. The accounting equation, that's the so it is technical. X is technical. How do you account to take what is income, what is the definition of income, gross income? So these are technical subjects. You have to be able to know the technical aspect. Exam stress, I think this applies to any subject that you do. And manage your time management. If you cannot manage time, in fact, let me rephrase that. If you cannot manage your time, you cannot manage anything. You have to be able to manage time in your time for you to start to manage a business, manage a department, manage another person. Start with managing your time. As I said, challenges, opportunities, challenges, and solutions in mind. Solutions. For your studies, you can use what they call the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is about to study 25 minutes, rest 5 minutes. Do another 25 minutes, rest another 5 minutes. Do another 25 minutes, rest, and then after maybe 4 of these, do a long break, maybe 15, 20-minute break. So this just to make sure that you increase your attention span, also account, say, in each of these spans, these Pomodoro periods, what to cover, what did you cover. So it has to make sure it's not a long, continuous study period. You put breaks in between. Study groups, networking, emotional intelligence. We've talked about that. Using past papers, however, can yet heterogenesis currently, you do not need past exam papers. But there's nothing stopping you going to a study group saying, guys, let's brainstorm what possible exam questions can come from this learning outcome. AI, tell me what possible questions can they ask me on this learning outcome. So there's really nothing stopping you. Practice-based learning, practice. How much you retain, you practice. That's why in any sporting arena, any top athletes, when they are sold, there is nothing like an athlete did it just like that. They practice. Think of I was reading the story of you say Paul. So Paul, he practices for days, for months. for years. In fact, if you talk Olympics, he practices for 3 years. What is he practicing 3 years for? For something that is just going to take less than 10 seconds. The actual performance, 10 seconds is done. But practice for 3 years. Perform for 10 seconds. So practice makes perfect. Never ever like yourself that you don't need practice. Then have mental resilience. This is a graduate achievement, and we are going to get that in you. All right, how do you make your career long? So in the Genesis, we don't want you to, we're not just making sure that you graduate and we leave you. Graduate is still on your head as our alumni. As our alumni, you should proceed to the top of your career, the top of your chosen field. How do you do this? One of the things from the BCompt perspective, call it continuous professional development. Educate yourself, attend seminars, make sure you continuously develop yourself. Build credibility. Your name is worth more than a million, more than a million, more than 10 million. Your name is worth more than any gold. So make sure that you will be found in some committee where you are being called to the Marijuana Commission. And I said, the specimen to Genesis. So have credibility ethics. Be not for quality work. Reliability. Make sure that your bosses can rely on you. Develop leadership skills. Everyone leads. You are a leader. It doesn't matter which position you are in. They might say it's the entry level, but you are a leader. Develop those skills. Explore entrepreneurship. Start a business. Start something. Build financial independence. So make sure you make your money work for you. The skills that you already start acquiring in Genesis. Talk to our guys from My Wealth, build that financial independence. And finally, use your degree contribute to change someone's life, to change South Africa's economic development path. Make sure that you impact people positively. In other words, if I'm using the Genesis language, um, we say awaken your potential. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for attending. As I say, your income is going to take you far, it's going to prepare you for success. Now, just before I go into any questions, there's this pop-up of our former president, President Nelson Mandela. Says education is the powerful weapon which you can use to change the world, which you can use to change the world. Now, I'm just expanding this to align it to what we believe in the Genesis. If you look at the Genesis leadership, integrated leadership model, it begins with you. So this all, if we are applying it to the Genesis leadership, integrated leadership model, I will counsel the world and say education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You want to change the world, change yourself. You want to make an impact, change yourself. You want to make sure that the world is a better place to live, change yourself. And it starts with education, which is what we are doing at Genesis, which is what we are doing with our BCompt degree. We are changing you to change the world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will allow this if there's any questions. Do we have any questions? Sorry, Thomas, I can't hear you. I don't know why. Still can't hear you. Or maybe it's just on my side. Yeah, Thomas, we can't hear. I don't know why. My apologies. All right, I see there was a question on we only offer business, finance, and admin. So there's so many other courses that we offer. We've got, I think, 7 schools now: School of Technology, School of Education, Public School. So there's so many other courses that you can offer. And over and above what we offer in the School of Economics. What I would ask is if you can get any one of the details that are available on the chat there, then they will give you our prospectus so that you can go through the list of courses that we offer. So we do offer quite a bit of qualifications over and above what I talked about now. So I just talked about from a finance perspective or economics perspective, but there's a wide range of courses that we can offer. Thank you. Yes, so no, fantastic. So we do recognize past qualification. So bring your past qualification. Obviously, there is limits. So, for example, you cannot be older than 5 years since you did that qualification because things change, especially in this age where change is very quick. But the long and short of it is yes, we do recognize and we give you exemptions. So we do that. All right, looks like there's no other question. Are we okay, Tim? Are we going to the next presenter? Fantastic. So, not for the saying it's with Cyber, we get registered when we finish the qualification, or we can get registered at the start. So you can at the start get registered, but for the entry level, it also depends with your prior qualification. So if you have not yet finished the BCompt, there is nothing that stops you from registering either with the IPA and certified, but it also requires you to have done it. So that's why I was highlighting this scheme. So they will look at the prior qualification, what you've done, and then they can give you an accreditation accordingly. So you don't need to wait until you graduate to get you can register it as long as you meet the criteria. Thank you. That's it for the question. And then Thomas is putting a few comments there, how you can save money, where, how we open up the registration. So please go through, make sure that you are here towards your success. All right. Wonderful. All right. So if there's no other questions, I think that's it from my end. You guys have got my details. You can always reach out to me or reach out to anyone at the end. All right. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Thank you guys for inviting me. Really appreciate it. Thank you, and bye bye.